Given the recent transactions you've done, Shane, I think we'll start with you. Do you have an overall sense of where the market's going, where we're at, and if you wanted to touch on those two deals?
The market continues to be a tenant-friendly market. Still a lot of vacancy. It's remained unchanged from last quarter. We're just under 20% citywide. The two deals you're referencing are Bennett Jones for 50,000 square feet, 2 full floors at Stantec Tower, and Lloyd Sad taking 42,000 square feet at the Annex building next to Bell Tower. So yeah, both deals were really attractive deals for the tenant, long-term leases. Takes a long time to get the bigger deals done, and you want to start really early to leave enough time to negotiate the right deal. Landlords are still, as always, but even a little bit more so if the tenant's large, really good covenant, full stretch to make induce them into the building.
Then in the next 6 months to a year, do you see things staying the same, or can we expect anything else?
Yeah, no, I think there's good momentum despite the vacancy. I think a lot of tenants, companies have figured out their return to work and their size. Not across the board, but they're more confident and they're making long-term decisions if it's the right building, the right deal.
Sure. The one thing that is making landlords successful, what is one thing or one tool they're using to attract more tenants than their competitors?
I would say it's the presentation of the property. It's not necessarily it's always capital, and sometimes it does take a lot of capital, but it's the presentation when the tenant walks into the building, they feel like the building's being cared for. Because it is a decision, it's a hard decision right now, so it's obviously having clean hallways, having painted walls or newly painted walls, having space that you're walking into that isn't wires hanging everywhere. It's just presentation, what I would say is the number one. Landlords focus on that. Whether it's a minimal dollar or a bigger dollar, it's been the most effective.
And with space that's, say, dated, would you say that having them demoed and whitewashed is a fair avenue to go down, or would you say leaving them as is?
Again, case by case, but I mean, if you're in a dated 30-year-old, 20-year-old space that maybe needs, no one can really walk into and it's very unique to its layout, that's probably the best bet. There's also other things, as space planning and renderings, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, I think some of the really proactive and forward-thinking landlords, they're also focusing on not just the sustainability of the building being LEED certified or BOMA Best, but they're also looking at wired certified, so it's got the best internet connectivity, no matter where you are in the building, if you're on your floor, in the parkade, washroom, if you're checking emails. As well, there's another newer designation called WELL certification, so how healthy the building is in terms of air exchange and a whole host of criteria. So some landlords are, their buildings are now dog friendly, and everyone got really close to their pets during COVID. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Definitely the physical environment, but there's some of these kind of maybe softer elements that can, for certain tenants that are really looking for that for them and their staff, it's really important. A lot of tenants, it's more about the location and the dollar and cents, but some are pretty discerning.